Hello, dear students. Today we are going to discuss about the process of strategy decision making. This is a topic which is come under the unit financial policy and corporate strategy. So there are six steps involved in the process of strategy decision making. This is often termed as the steps of strategy decision making. Before I'm going to explain about the processes or the steps of strategy decision making, we need to know about what is strategic decision makings and what is strategic decisions. So strategic decisions are long-term decisions usually taken by top-level management in order to give a direction to the company to achieve their goals, objectives, etc. Usually, the strategic decisions involve huge investment and time. That is why these decisions are taken by top level management. We know that top level management people, they have a lot of experiences, like they will be having more than 10 or 20 years of experiences in the industry. So they will be very peculiar on decision making, especially with regard to long term decisions. That is why they are taking strategic decisions on behalf of the company. So there are six steps in strategy decision makings. In order to take any strategy decisions, every company or every individual have to go through these six steps. The first step is identification of problem. We know that there is a saying in English like a well-defined problem is half solved. We need to identify what problem is faced by the company so that we can find a solution for that problem. So that is the first step or process of strategy decision making. The second step is information processing. Once you have identified the problem, the next step is information processing. We need to identify why this problem happened, how it happened, and how it can be solved. What are the solutions which we have? What are the resources and what are the efforts which we need to overcome this problem, etc. So all those things are come under this particular steps called information processing. After the second step, the third step is identification of various options. So we know that there may be so many solutions for the same problem. We need to find the best solution for the problem which we were facing. So we will be having a lot of options, but we need to check each and every options based on our threshold or our limitation or our restrictions, etc. So that step is come under this particular area called identification of various options. We need to identify various options available. If only one option is available, we cannot think about the other solutions because we only have one option. So that is the third step, identification of various options. After the third step, the fourth step is isolating choices. We know that if anybody is getting more choices, that will create confusion and ultimately the person will take the bad choice. So we need to isolate choices. We have to identify the pros and cons of each and every alternative, and we have to find the best one as per our requirement. So that is the fourth step, isolating choices, and we need to find the best choice which is appropriate for our requirement. So that has to be identified in the fourth step. And the fifth step is implementation of best one. Once you have identified the best choice based on your parameters and your requirement, the next step is implementation. The plan which is there in the paper have to be executed properly. That is a very tedious task, but in this stage or in this process, we have to implement the plan which we were framed during the time of strategic decisions. So that is what the fifth step, that is implementation of best one. Usually the implementation step take more time than any other processes, but we have to wait what are the problems while implementation, etc. Then the last step is improvement via feedback. We know that nothing is perfect, so every time improvement is required. Once we have implemented any program or any other system in our organization, but we have to think about the improvement, what improvement is required, how it has to be improvement, where improvement is required, etc. Feedback is a very important aspect on improvement. Once we are getting feedback from employees, customers, suppliers, and other stakeholders. That will help us to improve the existing system, and that will help us to take the best decision that might be appropriate for different stakeholders, and then only we can satisfy them and we can get more investors from different parts of the country. So these are the different process of strategic decision making. First step is identification of problem. Second is information processing. Third one is identification of various options. Fourth one is isolating choices. Then fifth one is implementation of best one. And last one is improvement of feedback.